Okay, here we are. It's Monday. Yep, it's Monday. It's 8 o'clock and we're live. Let me just sort this out. Just 1 second. Be right with you. Just turning off my computer. Okay, here we are. Right. So, welcome to another week of Facebook Live. Hope you all had a great week last week and a lovely weekend. I had a great time on Saturday. I went to the Sandown craft show, which was a lot of fun. I went with Amy, and I was very restrained. I didn't go mad, which I often do at these things. You know how it is. You see all this great stuff and it's all a lot of fun. I'm just going to wait a couple of seconds, let people come on. So as you come in, just leave a comment to say hi, so I know you're there. Just trying to think what other news I've got for you. Yes, we did the prize draw, and all the prize giving was announced on Friday. So I'm just working on my pile of posts at the moment to get all the prizes out to all of you. So if you haven't seen it already, check out the post from the other day, or visit my blog, and you'll be able to see if you won or not. I will be sending out some emails and getting in touch with you directly anyway. So don't worry too much. Because I know who's got what, and I'll just be getting around to doing that. Probably after I've finished here this evening, to be honest. So what else have we got? No, just another week. Hi Anne, welcome. Congratulations on winning your prize. I shall get it in the post to you. I've got a little something for Vicky as well, so hopefully I'll post it to you because I don't have Vicky's address. And if you could give it to her, that'd be great. Let's see, who else have we got? Okay, so I had a request today to sort of go over some of the basics of stamping. So before we go on to our projects, I'm just going to do a quick stamping 101 for you guys. Just, go over the basics. So let's start. I'm just going to get some bits and pieces and some scrap stuff. Just 1 second. Down there. Hi Sue, good to see you. Congratulations, you were a prize winner too, I think, as far as I remember. So, like I said, I'll be sending out some emails and things tonight, just so to confirm to everybody personally what you've won. Right, so Stamping 101. So, first of all, you've got... Let me get one now. So first of all, generally speaking, you've got two types of stamps. You've got rubber mount, which is the rubber, which is the red, and you've got photopolymer, which is the clear. Okay. Now both of these kind of stamps you need to use with a block for stamping. So you just attach the stamp to the block like so, and then when you're finished, you just take it off. So you just, once you've got your blocks, you're good to go. Other stamps, other rubber stamps can come wood mounted, which means you don't need blocks. Okay. So when you're stamping, there's a couple of quick things to remember when doing so. I'm just going to get an ink pad here. So the first thing to remember is to make sure that you're at the area that you're stamping on. Oh, my video's frozen. Hang on. Whoop. Oops. Okay, let's try that again. Sorry about that. I think we got cut off. So let me know if you're hearing me again. Just 1 second. Okay, right. So I'm just going to wait 2 seconds for everybody to come back online. I don't know quite what happened there. My video feed stopped feeding. So hopefully you can see me again. So can you leave me a comment and let me know that you can see and hear me, and then we can get going. It's been a while since I've had a technical difficulty on my Facebook Live. I guess I was due one. So yeah, we'll just wait for everybody to find me again, and then we'll get going again. Dun, dun, dun. Let me just mount up some stamps while we're waiting. Hi Charlotte, glad you can hear me. I'm back. Right, let's just sort this out a little bit. Got a bit of shadow there that I don't want. Okay, right, so Stamping 101, some stamping basics. So like I said, you've got red rubber stamps, or you've got clear photopolymer stamps, okay? When you're stamping, the first thing to do is to make sure that the surface you're stamping on is flat. You don't want anything underneath a piece of paper or a magazine or anything underneath, because that will get you a blurred image. It will affect it. So first thing to do is make sure your stamping area is clear. Okay. Next thing is when you ink up your stamp. Okay. With our Stampin' Up pads, what you need to do, they open a bit differently to normal ink pads. The way they're done is that the ink pad is stored upside down inside, which means that your ink is always at the top of your pad, which is great. But what you need to do is where the 3 dots are here, just push, and you see the lid flips up like so, and then you just flip it back and then close it in, and then you've got your ink pad. Okay, so the thing with inking up your ink pad is the temptation very often is to squish your block and your your stamp into your block like that, into your ink pad, to get plenty of ink on there, okay? But what happens is, can you see there, I've gotten ink all round the edge of my block there. And when I press down to stamp, right, sometimes that can transfer onto your page like so. And you don't want that, okay? I'm just going to clean this off. The other thing that can happen is you can get ink all around the edge of your stamp as well, which can transfer. So the thing to do is on your ink pads is you tap like that, tap, 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 just gently onto your ink pad, okay? Don't need to press it, don't need to squish it, okay? And then you'll be able to see. Then when it comes to stamping, what you want to do is to just press straight down, hold for the count of 2 or 3, and then pull straight back up again. Okay, again, the temptation a lot of times is to press it down and then do this, and then you can often get a blurred image. Okay, so it's tap, tap, tap on your ink pad, and then press straight down and straight back up. All right. The other thing to try and avoid doing, particularly if you're trying to place your stamps, is try not to hover too long, because sometimes what can happen is you can just touch your stamp on your paper here and cause yourself a problem. So you need to be a little bit decisive, okay? So tap, 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 straight down, hold for the count of 3, and straight back up again. It's as easy as that, okay? If you've got a larger stamp like this one here, which is quite solid, all right? Exactly the same procedure, tap, 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 right? But can you see there, I haven't got it covered all the way through to the middle, okay? So when you've got a large solid stamp like that, sometimes that happens. So you just need to be careful and make sure, and what you can do is, instead of bringing your stamp pad to your ink pad, is turn it the other way around. So hold your stamp upwards and then tap your ink pad over the top. And then that makes sure you've got some nice even coverage all across, like so. Okay? There we go. All right. And then just press it down. And with a solid image like that, you can see I'm not rocking my block, I'm not moving it, I'm just holding it firm for a little bit longer, okay? And there we go, you get a much better image. All right, if you're getting a blurry image, or you're not getting quite the coverage you want, what you can do is place a little something underneath what you're stamping on. So I've got a stamping mat here. You can use an old mouse pad. Anything that's got a little bit of give is helpful, and that just helps you get a nice, clear, crisp image. Okay, so there you go. That's Stamping 101, just a couple of quick tips for you before we get started on our projects. All right, so let me just clean some of these up, and then we'll get going on what we've actually got planned for tonight. Now, I can't remember where these were from. All right, so let's move these out of the way. So our first project tonight is this one here. Now, this one is using the Painted Love Designer Series paper. I have to admit that whilst I love the patterns in it, I find them they can be a bit overpowering. I mean, I like this one, but some of these are can be a bit much. So I was just trying to figure out ways that you could use these patterns without it really overpowering your card. And this is just one of the ways I came up with, which is just a simple square that's matted and then a simple sentiment to finish it off. Okay, so we're just going to do that one first. So we've got our usual piece of A4 card, cut in half lengthways, and then scored and folded in half. As usual, I'll post all of the dimensions and supplies onto my blog in the next couple of days for you. Okay, and then we have a square of this is fresh fig, and then I've cut a square of the patterned paper like so. All right, and then we're going to use our punches and the perennial birthday stamp set, which I'm really enjoying. So we're going to take here's to celebrating you sentiment, and I'm going to add some, what shall I add? I'm going to add a few dots in the background. Okay. So we've got our fresh fig ink. We're going to take our scrap of white card. Okay, and we're just going to stamp that down in the center like so. And then I'm going to take a little bit of pink, so our blushing bride, and take our dots. Okay, and I'm just going to stamp those kind of behind, like so. All right, goes away. And then I'm going to take my 2-inch circle punch, and I'm just going to punch this out like so. Okay, and then I'm going to take our scrap of fresh fig and our scallop circle punch, and just quickly cut out from there. All right. And then we get some glue. I'm going to glue this to the back. Go, and then while I'm doing that, I'm just going to glue our patterned piece. I love the gold highlights on this piece, on these bits here. I think they're really lovely. There we go. And then we're going to get a little piece of our gold sequin trim. Just trim a piece of that off. Okay, that's gone a bit crooked, so I'm just going to straighten that up. All right, so we want some dimensionals on the back here, and some dimensionals on the back here. Okay, bring in our card base, and we're just going to add, there we go. If you guys are there, leave me a comment so I know you're there. Say hi, so I know who I'm talking to. Alright, so this one I'm going to put it this way. So we're just going to line this up like so. There we go. And then I'm going to take my snail. I'm just going to line this up here. So I want a loop of the gold behind my sentiment. Okay. In fact, I need a longer loop than that. So I'm just going to... Hi, Amy. Good to see you. Made it on a Monday. Right. So there. That's a little bit better. Okay, so let's bring back in my sentiment. So I'm going to just add a little bit of snail across here, just to hold my sequin trim in place. Okay, like that. All right, and then, hi Anne. Yes, I agree. You know my style. It's kind of clean and simple, but these patterns are so gorgeous, and I'm sure lots of us have got beautiful patterned paper that we've bought, and just when you go to put it on a card, it just seems like way too much. So this is a great way to just use a little bit, just to give you the effect and give you the colour without overpowering the whole card. All right, and then I'm just going to trim these off. Hi Lou, good to see you. You can see you're all there now, which is good. I'm not talking to myself. Right, so there we go. And I think as well, I like the I just like the added little detail there of the dots in the background, as opposed to that one. It just gives a little bit more interest. Okay, so that's card number 1. Easy peasy, as they usually are. You know me, I like to keep it simple. All right, so now the second card is using this paper again, but using it slightly differently. Just going to bring my bits across. Okay, I'm going to put that to one side. And keep a bit of order on this workspace. Doesn't always work, but anyway. So this is the next card. So again, you can see I've just used a little piece of the patterned paper just to give a bit of interest. And I'm using, the stamp set I'm using is this Happy Wishes celebration set. So this is a 2-piece set, and it's designed to just, you've got the 2 big sentiments and then lots of little ones to sort of build exactly the greeting you want. This is one of our £90 celebration items, which means that if you spend £90, then you get to choose this. This is what we call our level 2, what's the word? Reward. Thanks, Lynn. They're gorgeous. Right, so this one is Happy Anniversary. So I'm going to take the Happy, and I want Birthday. Okay. And then wishing you, it's there. There it is. Okay, so let's just pop those on some blocks. Okay, now you could build it all together on one block like this, but because I want to do something a bit different, you can see I've got like an ombre effect going here, so I'm going to keep these to one side. So the colours we're using is colours to pick up the colours in the pattern paper is Rich Raspberry and Melon Mambo. All right, so I'm just going to get my pieces. So we've got our white panel here. So what we're going to do is ink up our stamp in the lighter colour first, which is the Melon Mambo. Okay, give it a good coverage. There we are. Close that up, and then I'm going to go in with my Rich Raspberry, and you've probably seen me do this, I've done this on cards before, but just with the corner of the ink pad, I'm just going to add, I'm not too bothered about how accurate it is, but can you see that I'm just adding a little bit of colour along the bottom half, roughly where all those flowers are. Can you see that? Can you see the difference? All right, and then I'm just going to stamp that across the centre. See if I can get it straight. Okay, there we go. And again, because I've got quite a biggish sort of image, I'm just going to hold it for a second, and there we go. So we've got a nice, now that's not straight, so I'm going to flip it over and then do that again. Okay, so there we go. We've got our Melon Mambo, and when you do this, always do the lighter colour first so that you don't get the dark colour transferring onto your light ink pad. Yeah, so just bring the Rich Raspberry along the bottom. And Let's try that again. There we go. Yeah, that's better. And then we'll bring back in our small greetings. So, wishing you a. One of the challenges with this is actually reading the sentiments backwards, because it's quite a small. I love the font, but it's quite small. So we're going to pop that there. Wishing you a happy. Thanks, Charlotte. I've done it before, and it's just a great way to get some interest and some extra colour into your images. It works best on big kind of solid images. There we go, and then we're just going to put birthday down the end here. Look at that, brilliant. So easy, so easy. All right, let's close up our ink pads, and then. Very simple from there, it's just assembling the layers. So we've got glue on the back of here. Okay, and then again we're using rich raspberry. No, this is fresh fig. We're using fresh fig behind. But you could use rich raspberry if you wanted, because that's one of the other colours in the paper. And I don't know if any of you've noticed, but in the catalogues and on the backs of the paper packs as well, it gives you a listing of the colours that are used, so you know what colours coordinate. Now, that's not an exhaustive list. Other colours will go, but it just gives you the list of the colours used in the paper, so you can coordinate exactly. And that's one of the things that's great about Stampin' Up, is that it means you can get everything coordinated, which is great. Okay, so there we've got our two panels. I'm going to attach those using dimensionals. This one. Whoop. Okay, let's bring in our card base. So this is like the other card we've just done. It's folded, cut long ways, folded in half, but I'm going to turn it this way for this card. Okay, so we're going to glue this one to the left hand side, like so. So you can see I'm lining it up so that I've got an equal border around three sides. Here we are. Oh, excuse the sniffles. Started sniffing all of a sudden this evening. Not quite sure why. Right, here we go. And then we just... Then what I do is on this side is I just try and line it up so that we've got a similar gap around these three sides. And then that gives your card a little bit of symmetry. There we go. And there we have it. So we've got our anniversary card and a birthday card. But again, a great way to use your paper without it overpowering your card. Oh yes, Amy, it's on its way. You're going to love it. I think they're your kind of colours as well. And I've got some other fun ideas with this, which I think I'm going to be playing with over the next little while. So there we go. That's card number 2. So for card number 3, I'm coming back to probably my favourite stamp set so far, which is Petal Palette. And you guys have seen me use it quite a lot. But I wanted to use it in a slightly different way today, just to show you that you don't always have... We often look at the big images in a stamp set or the big sentiments, and sometimes we can overlook some of the smaller images. And I'm going to use this little image here in this set. And I've made this card with it. Thanks, Lou. So this is just a great way to just create your own background, and then down here is some of our washi tape. So this is done just using lemon lime twist and black. So not a lot of supplies needed for that. Really, really simple, but a lot of fun. But this one I'm going to do using slightly different colour palette. I'm going to use Pool Party instead for our base. So we've just got a piece of A4 card, again, cut in half and then scored and folded in half to make our base. All right, then we have our black layer, like so. Then we have our white layer that we're going to stamp on, and then we've just got some scraps here for our circle. All right, so let's take our pool party. In fact, what I'm going to do first, I'm going to attach our washi tape, all right? So this is, again, washi tape, I think, is one of those things that sits in our craft room because it's pretty, but doesn't make it onto our cards quite as often as perhaps it should do. So this is a great way to just, as I say, create a nice background. So I'm just going to pop it across there, my scissors, trim it, okay, and then just fold it over, right? And then I'm going to take a little bit with Pool Party, find the end, which is on here somewhere. Where is it? Da, da, da. It's the worst thing about washi tape, or any kind of sellotape really. I hate it. There it is, found it. Okay, so then just lay that across the top there. Fold it over, and then finally you've got our, I like this little scallop, black and white. So I'm going to put that one, put it that way. Okay. So you know, you could make a card base or background just by laying washi tape across the back, but I'm just going to do the bottom for this one. Okay. And then I'm going to take that small flower. Whoops, dropped my glue. 1 second. I've got my small flower here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp off on this, so just let me get a piece of scrap paper, just 1 second. There we go. Alrighty, and then we're just going to stamp it. I'm not too worried about that one because I'm going to cover that up, so. And again, when you're stamping a background, it's always good to try and stamp off the edges a little bit so it looks more like, you know, a piece of pattern paper that you've cut. There we go. I'm just going to go over that. There we go. All right, and then we'll bring in our scrap here. And in black, I'm going to stamp the sentiment. Okay, it would seem that my internet signal this evening is a bit dodgy, which is why it keeps freezing. So hopefully this will work. So as you come back on, hopefully you haven't got away. Just let me know you're here. Oh, who's giving me a thumbs up? Oh, good. We've got people here. Excellent. Sorry about that, guys. It never goes smoothly. There's always something. Right, let's just see. Just refresh my screen so I can see what's going on. There we go. Alrighty, still here, Anne. Thank you. Right. Just to quickly recap, so we've laid some washi tape down along the bottom, and then we've stamped the flower in the background, and now we're going to do the sentiment. So I've got my black ink, and I'm just going to get my sentiment out, which is the life is so much better with you in it. Okay, so let's just crack on. Hopefully my signal will hold out for this, the rest of this card, and the next one, which is the last card. So there we go. Life is so much better. And I'm going to use the same 2 punches that I used earlier on the first card. So I've got my 2-inch circle, pop, and then from my scrap of black, I'm going to do the scallop circle punch. I love the way these 2 punches layer. It's just means if you haven't got a die cutting machine, you can still get your get your circles done. And they're good size. They've got good flexibility in terms of the kind of sentiments you can get in there. Right, so I'm just going to glue across the back here. Pop that on there. Okay. That's it. And then we just pop some dimensionals on the back. There we go. If you're just joining me after having lost signal, I'm sorry about that. My internet signal here this evening seems to be a bit dodgy. So just let me know you're still here. Okay. Right, so just going to pop that on there like so. Didn't need to do that. There we go. There we go. Layer that onto the black. Hi Sue, still here? Good, thank you. Thank you for bearing with me. It's been a bit dodgy this evening. Never mind. We'll power through, as they say. Okay, and there we go. Alright, let's move these out of the way. So there we have it. We've got a really bright lemon lime twist one, and then we've got a more subtle pool party one. So which one do you like? Which one's your favourite? Lemon lime twist or pool party? Let's hear your comments while I tidy up. Okay, let's pop these away. Right, get ready for the next card. Let's have a look. Pool party, Anne. Do you know what? I think I agree with you. I really, really like the lemon lime twist, but now that I see the pool party, it's really very nice. And actually, thinking about it, what if we added a little bit of Wink of Stella to these flowers? Now, wouldn't that be nice? Let's do that quickly. Pool party suit. Yeah, I think pool party's the winner. I would agree with you, ladies. I prefer it. Let's have a look. Let's just finish these off. There we go. There we've just got a little bit of extra. Can you see that? A little bit of extra shimmer and glimmer going on there. Love Wink of Stella, don't you? Right, so there we are. Card number 3. Now the last card is part of a series, if you will. I've made a few already. So we've got same layout, just in different colour schemes. And this is using I had it a second ago. This is using the Picture Perfect birthday stamp set. And I think this has got lots of cool images and I love the sentiments, but I just wanted to do something with the candles. So this one is using Berry Burst with different shades of pink. This is just a simple monochrome of black and grey, but I like the pop of yellow to it. And then this one's using Island Indigo, but with, again, just some bright colours. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to do a 4th colour scheme, okay? And I'm going to use some Night of Navy, all right? So again, we start with our card base, piece of cardstock, folded, cut in half the long way, and then folded in half. Okay, we're going to make what's called the tent fold. All right, and then we've got our ink pads. So we're going to use Marina Mist and Night of Navy with Daffodil Delight for the candles. For the, what's the word I'm looking for, ladies? What's the word I'm looking for? Flames on the candles. Thanks, Anne. Is that you were talking about the one I'm doing now, is it? So we have, let's gather our pieces. So we've got our panels like so we can put those to one side. I'm going to work on these two. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my sentiment. So we've got the happy birthday. Okay. And I've just got a little scrap of cardstock here to use left over from when I trim up my cardstock. I'm just going to stamp that down. I'm not worried about getting it straight because I'm going to trim it. So let's do it like so. All of them. Yeah. Again, as you may have noticed, I like making little sets of cards, and I like taking a particular design and just seeing how it works in different colours. And it's a good way to make sure you've got, I'm cutting this off, sorry, I'm just trimming this really tight, that, you know, very quickly you can get yourself together quite a lot of cards without a whole lot of effort. There we go. Okay, so we've got my happy birthday. All right. I'm going to do the side, and I'm going to bring in my candles. All right. I'm just going to make some room for myself here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my solid stamp here, all right, and I'm going to stamp 3 candles on here in the Marina Mist, which is the lighter colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my greeting where I want it to be. I'm going to just take a pencil and just make a small light line there. Just gives me an idea of where I want my stamps to go. All right, so I'm going to ink up the Marina Mist and stamp it down 3 times. So I'm going to do 1 in the center, like so, and then 1 either side. If they're not lined up exactly, it doesn't matter. How many candles do you know that are perfectly straight on the cake, eh? And then I'm going to bring back in my navy, and I'm going to, this is where photopolymer is great because you can just kind of line it up by looking over. So let's see if I can get this on. So I'm just going to do a dot, and then I'm going to do dots on this one. Ooh, that worked. And then I'm going to take the stripe. Okay, see if I can get that one lined up as well. Yep, that worked. There we go. All right, and then we've got our our flame. Here we go, and I'm going to do that in yellow. So again, using the photopolymer to just look straight through, get right over the top of your stamp. You can't see me doing it. I'm doing it through the camera, so you don't see the back of my head. But when you're trying to line your stamps up, just get directly over your stamp so you can see exactly where you're placing it. There we go. All right, and now I'm just going to rub out this little line here. Alrighty. Let's close up my ink pads. To one side. Right, and then we're going to take our mini dimensionals and pop it on the back of our sentiment. There we go. Then just place it over the bottom of our candles. I'll even try and get it straight. There we go. All right, then we're going to glue that onto our piece of navy. Okay, and then we're going to take our white piece, and for the ribbon across the back, I'm going to use this beautiful corduroy. This is new in the Spring Summer catalogue, this gorgeous corduroy ribbon. It's so soft and gorgeous. So I'm just going to cut myself a piece, enough to just go across the centre. All right, and then we'll take our snail. I'm just going to pop a little bit along each edge like that, and then just wrap it like so. I'm not sticking it down, I'm just placing it down to see if that's where I actually want my ribbon to be. Yep, and that looks good. So you can add some glue to the rest of it. Place that down. There we are. And then we'll take our panel and we want some dimensionals on the back. There we are. And just line that up. And there we have it. Nice, simple, masculine birthday card. So there we go. We've got blue, or should I say the navy, and the black. And then we've got the Island Indigo and the pink. So again, which of these is your favourite? So I'll clear some of this away and bring back in our other cards. And let me know what you think. Ooh, because that's our last one. Went quick today, even with all of the technical difficulties. Where's the first one? There we go. Hi Mary, glad you're enjoying it. So which is your favourite colour then of these four? What do you reckon? Can you see? Do you know, I think the navy, the one I've just made, is mine. I really like that. That's worked out very nicely. But again, nice set of cards would make a nice box set. Loving it. I knew what you meant, Mary. Right, so that's those four. Okay, so let's keep. I'm going to bring back in the others that we've made. So we've got that one. And we've got the petal palette one. I'm just trying to make sure that they're in shot for you. And then we've got the two using the Painted with Love, I think that's what it's called, designer series paper. So there we go. Leave me a comment. Let me know which one is your favourite. As I said, I'll have the blog post with all of the details, the dimensions and supplies up in the next couple of days. Thank you for joining me this evening, and thank you for bearing with me. Yes, Mary, that's right. They're all great, different for different people. That's what I like, is that everybody's got slightly different tastes, haven't they? Yes, so thank you for joining me tonight, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.